Hello again and welcome back to the Adelphi Human Performance Lab. Today we're going to be going through a stress test, EKG setup, lead placement, and how to start the test. First, what we have to do is ensure that we have all the proper materials. So, for our EKG system, we need 10 of these electrodes, we need gauze, ultrasound gel, and alcohol. It's also important to note that you should know and have your defibrillator handy. So, before we start the test, what we can do is input the information in the computer of our subject. So we'll come over here to the computer, and we'll go ahead and input that. First, we have the last name, that's Byrne. First name, Peter. Now, if they were already in the system, we could then hit search and they would pop up in the box below. However, Peter's never done a test on this system before, so we have to input his information. So Pete, when's your birth date?
09/25/1996.
Alright. We're not going to ask him for a social security number. He is a male. And we're going to go ahead and search. So, he's not there, we'll hit new, and it'll carry over some of that information for us. So we'll re-input his birth date. That'll give us his max predicted heart rate, his target heart rate, and now we have to go ahead and put his height in. Peter, you're 67 inches, you weigh 147 pounds. And have you taken a beta blocker in the past 24 hours?
I have not.
And you would click no. The next thing that we have to fill out is the test setup. So we're going to be doing this on a treadmill. We're going to be doing the story protocol, which is our standard protocol. Make sure that procedure says Adelphi 18 and the final report says Adelphi. You can use a different protocol, just remember that it is going to be different and you have to plan for using a different protocol. Next is the attending physician. You can use either Bob or John for this and place them in here. Next part is you. You are the technician of the test, therefore you input your own name. My name's Jacob, so I'm going to put that in. You can use the drop-down menu to choose the department and the location. Neither of these are super integral to the process, however, it is good to fill everything out. Lastly, the reason for the test. Most of our testing is done for the adult fitness program, and so we'll click that. And then we can hit OK. So now that Peter's in the system, we can get started with our lead placement. What we'll do first is we will take some gauze and alcohol and wipe down the different spots of the leads. Generally, it's best practice to take one piece of gauze to wipe down with the alcohol and then another piece of gauze to dry. Go one by one, or at most do two. If multiple are in the same spot, you can do that entire spot. However, we want to make sure that the skin is as fresh as possible and doesn't have any oil on it. So we'll go ahead, we'll put the alcohol on the gauze and go through the sites. The first site that we can wipe down is the right arm. We're going to ask the subject to roll their shoulders forward. We're going to look for the indent between the shoulder and the collarbone in the furthermost corner of the right arm. That would be right here. Wipe that down nice and thoroughly. We'll take another piece of gauze to go ahead and dry that area off. After that's done, you can then take an electrode and the ultrasound gel and apply the ultrasound gel to the electrode backing. You only have to apply a little bit, and then go ahead and place the electrode on the spot that you wiped down. We'll go through the next few now. The left is the same place on the opposite side, and so we can follow that process the same way. Take a piece of gauze, go ahead and apply alcohol, wipe down the area, dry it off, and after placing ultrasound gel on the electrode, you can go ahead and place the electrode on. The next placements that we have to do are in the same line as these electrodes. However, they're going to go down somewhere between the rib cage and the waist. So these are the right leg and the left leg leads. For the sake of not wasting any more ultrasound gel, because we're not going to be running a test on Peter today, I'm just going to go ahead and place the electrodes where they would be going and guide you through. So we're going to ask the subject to suck their stomach in so we can get an accurate idea of where the rib cage ends and where the hip starts, and that's right here. And remember, we are going in line with the left leg and the left arm. Same thing for the right leg and right arm. If you would suck in for me, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Find the end of the rib cage, find the top of the hip, and go ahead and place the electrode. The next electrodes are going to be the V-leads. The V-leads go in the first V1 and V2 go in the fourth intercostal space on either side of the sternum. So the V1 is going to be on the right side of the sternum, the V2 is going to be on the left. So the way that we find them is we palpate the intercostal spaces. So we find the first intercostal space, and we use our fingers to go ahead and find the fourth intercostal space, which is approximately here. Once again, you would have wiped down using your gauze, ensuring that there is nothing left on the skin. Place the ultrasound gel on the back of the electrode, and go ahead and find that spot. V2 is going to go directly across from it. You can palpate if you'd like, however, that's not entirely necessary, as most of the time the ribs are a mirror image of each other. Once again, wipe down, place the ultrasound gel on, and place the lead. The next leads are V4 and V3. The reason I say V4 first is because you're going to be placing V4 first. V4 goes directly on the mid-clavicular line, so directly in line with the nipple on many people, in the fifth intercostal space. So you're going to find the space slightly below the nipple. That's the fifth intercostal space. Alright, we had a couple of technical difficulties with the camera not recording certain clips, so we're going to continue here. As I was saying, the V-leads perform the role of giving us a picture of the heart from every angle. So, we've gone through V1, V2, V3, and V4. V4 is on the mid-clavicular line, and it is in the fifth intercostal space. The next leads that we have to put on follow the level of V4. They're going to be V5 and V6. So V5 will go on the anteroaxillary line in the same space. So that'll be right here. And then, last but not least, V6. Once again, you would be wiping down with alcohol and applying ultrasound gel. V6 will go on the mid-axillary line at the same level. Once we've applied all the leads, we can then go ahead and attach the wires to the leads. So we'll bring the belt over here. We'll instruct Peter to wrap the belt around his waist and secure it with the wires in front. All of these wires are labeled, and so they're very easy to put on. The one caution that I have for you is make sure you do not mix up the right and left side, otherwise your data will come out very weird. So we'll go through the application of these now. This one says V6, therefore I'll place it on V6. Left arm. And Peter can help me as well. He knows where they go, but when you are working with someone, you make sure that you apply all of them. Right arm.
Right leg.
Left leg.
V3.
V1. V2. V5. Actually, this is V4. And V5. Once you've gotten all of these on, you can then take an ace bandage and wrap it around.
So we've got right arm, right leg, left arm, left leg, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6.
Once you've placed all of the leads and gotten them hooked up, we can then do an impedance check. Now, since we have not applied ultrasound gel to all of the leads, it's very possible that some of the leads will come up yellow, signaling a moderate level of impedance. There might be an issue with the data from them. If you go through the proper prep process, you will not get any yellow. You should get all green. In the case that you do get a yellow, you can take off that lead and go through the process of lead application once again. So you would go ahead, you would clean, you would wipe down with alcohol, you would dry it off, apply ultrasound to a new lead, place it on, and reattach the wire. You can do this while the impedance check is going on, and then you should end up with all green. So we'll go through the impedance check right now. The impedance check happens by starting this blue guy, and then you hit start. So we'd wait for it to cycle through. We got green, and the rest are most likely going to be yellow because I did not apply any ultrasound gel to them. Now, in the case that these would be all green, you could hit exit, and then you would go ahead and you would start the test by starting the rest period. At the same time, you would instruct your subject to lay down on the plinth so that we could start gathering resting data. Since we're not going through a test today, that's where we'll cut it. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.